Welcome participants in this new session, and in this session we will talk about influence. In the last session we were talking about power, and when I was sharing regarding power, I explained the difference between power, influence and authority. Influence is a component of practicing power itself. Without influencing, power cannot be exercised, and power can be exercised by using the authority, and authority is the right given to someone to influence the behavior of others. So, in organizational work there is need to influence the behavior of others, and it is a process. And how it is accomplished? It is accomplished by affecting the thought, emotions, ideas, behavior, decisions and actions of people. So, if organization has to attain its goals, then leaders must be empowered, and empowered leaders must be having capability to affect the thought, behavior and action of others. Influence can be observed as followership, conformity, obedience, persuasion, pressure, socialization. So, how influence can be practiced? There can be different ways of that. Number one, followership. If someone want to follow someone, it means the person is influenced. Second one is conformity. By some order, someone is asked to conform to do something, that is conformity. Then obedience, someone is asked to obey something, that is obedience. Then next is persuasion. Persuasion is also one of the mean where the behavior, thought, action of people are, when people are persuaded in the interest of something, their thought, behavior and actions will be modified, molded, changed. And yes, sometimes pressure is also one of the technique for influencing the behavior of others. And besides that, socialization. Socialization is the process of becoming a social person, or the process of understanding how to live in the society. That is also one of the mean which influences the behavior of people, which changes or modifies the behavior of people. So, these are some of the factors of influencing. Influence is a significant trait that leaders must have. If someone want to be a successful manager, a successful leader, then it is must that the leader should be able to influence the behavior of others. There is a leader or a manager, but that leader or manager is not capable to influence the behavior of others, then that will clearly reflect in the working of organization, and the organizational working will become an anarchy or a hodgepodge, and it would be difficult to reach to the goal of the team or organization. Even already we have understood the difference between power and influence, but again power is capacity to get others to act. It is capability how they will act based on their positional authority, and that positional authority may be in the political party, in some social system or in organizational system. In the political party, if someone is the leader of the party, in the social system someone is leading a social gathering, or in the organizational setup, if a position given opportunity of power, that is it is potential authority or positional authority. And next difference is influence is ability to modify how a person develops, behaves or thinks. If we take example of children, then the various kind of instructions, commands, directions given by the family members helps to develop them as well as to modify their behavior as per need of society, as per need of culture, as per need of the psychology. So, influence is ability to modify how a person develops, behaves or thinks, and it will depend upon the relationship. Now, what are various characteristics of influence? The very first characteristic is influence is in management is ability of someone in an executive position to shape the attitude or viewpoints of others. Second one is leaders may do this in order to create positive work environment. Influencing is to create such an environment and climatic conditions so that attainment of organizational goal will become very easy. Third characteristic is managers achieve this through displaying a positive attitude, using an open communication and exhibiting good behavior. So, these are basic three things how the influence can be executed, that is by positive attitude. Person should have positive attitude to influence the behavior of others, and the continuous persistent use of open communication with people is also one of the factor for influencing the behavior. And next one is exhibiting good behavior. The leader himself or herself should also exhibit the good behavior. And yes, of course, influence is related to the soft skills also. What kind of soft skills are being practiced by the leaders, that will also help to influence. Now, the various factors of or types of influence are compliance, identification and internalization. These are some of the types of, and among these three, the compliance involves people behaving the way others expect, that is compliance. I comply to the behavior expected by a particular religion. I behave by complying to the behavior demanded or desired by a certain organizational team, that is compliance. The next is identification, and this is process when someone behave according to what they think is valued by those who are well liked and respected. Best example is Mahatma Gandhi, Mahatma Buddha. So, people try to identify themselves as per already well liked and respected celebrity, personality or politician or anyone. So, that is identification. Next one is internalization. Internalization is when people accept either explicitly or privately a belief or set of values. So, internalization means when we observe a particular religion, that is internalization. We internalize the belief, the traditional values and the set of values being practiced by that cult, by that particular religion, social group. So, that is internalization. Now, what is importance of influence? Why influence is important in organizational working? Without influence, direction cannot be given to the people to push the organization in the direction of maximum productivity, effectiveness and efficiency, as well as attainment of organizational goal. So, this is very first necessity, importance or need of influence. And next one is influence accelerates the results. Yes, to speed up the process of attainment or accomplishment of certain assignments is possible with the help of influence. Influence creates productive work environment. Every organization needs a typical type of set of behaviors for the attainment of its organizational goal. Such kind of behaviors are considered as productive behaviors, and these productive behaviors can be developed by the process of influence. Now, what could be the consequence of influence? The consequence of influence is resistance, compliance and commitment. Whenever there will be initial stage of influencing, there will be resistance, but the factors of persistent communication, factors of persistent communication and positive attitude and exhibition of good behavior will help to break up the resistance, and once the resistance has been broken up, the tendency of compliance will come up, and then this tendency of compliance needs to be strengthened, and once this compliance tendency is strengthened, then by default the person will develop commitment towards the organization. And to attain all this, there can be certain strategies for influence, and among them the very first strategy is to offer assistance. If you want to influence the behavior of others, then certainly assistance is one of the factor which will help the person to influence behavior of others. Second strategy is stand out as a source. Yes, if you want to influence the behavior of others, then individuals should stand in the organization as a source, and only then people will respect. The next is step into resolve conflicts. As I told that in the process of influence, the first step is resistance. Resistance means, yes, of course, there is conflict. So, step into the conflicts and communicate properly, make people understand, then the process of compliance will start. And during the process of compliance, then persuade team members think differently. Basically, influence is process of changing the thinking, the behavior, the actions. So, next is persuade team members think differently, and next strategy is go above and beyond. So, it should not be within the periphery only. If you want to influence the behavior of others, then there should not be any ceiling kind of thing. There should not be any type of boundary to it, and the leader must go beyond or above the ceiling to influence the behavior of others. And yes, next strategy is to show interest in others. If a leader want to practice the power by influencing the behavior of others, there is need that person should be interested in that. If person is not taking any kind of interest, then influencing of thinking, behavior, attitude would not be possible. So, this is how influence can work in the organization, and I already told that without influence power cannot be practiced, and if someone is practicing the power, it means it is as a result of empowerment. Now, let us try to understand the concept of empowerment in organizational behavior. In organizational behavior or in organizational working, empowerment means employees empowerment. How people of an organization, how employees of an organization has been shared, delegated the power, that is employee empowerment, and it is a management process which allows the employees to make independent decision as a result of empowerment. Basically, why we empower people? We empower people to give them independence, so that they can take decisions. What is opposite to that? If we will not empower the people, they will depend upon others, they will look towards higher authorities, they will look towards others to decide, and if they will not decide the factors of organizational working on right time, that will badly hamper the productivity, effectiveness and efficiency of the organization. So, employee empowerment is a management process which allows the employee to make independent decisions and act accordingly to attain the organizational goal. In other words, we can understand employee empowerment which refers to provide all competencies to the people. Empowerment is process of making people competent to their employees, so that they can accomplish the organizational goal. Now, what is importance of empowerment? why people should be empowered in among organizations. The very first importance or need of employee empowerment is employee empowerment helps in developing greater trust in leadership. If leader is not appropriately empowered, people will lose the trust. They will start doubting that whether this man is competent, whether the instructions, commands given by the leader will push them in the direction of attainment of goal or not. So, empowerment generates, creates the greater trust. Next one is the employee empowerment encourages employee motivation. Without empowerment, it is not possible to motivate people. When we were talking about power, at that time I shared that the power, practicing of power is a factor of basically motivating people. It is leader, it is manager who is empowered, has the right to motivate people so that they can perform as per need of organizational working. The next, empowerment lead to greater creativity, and also it improves the employee retention. Employee retention means if people are empowered appropriately, they would be able to lead creatively, and if they would be leading creatively, that they will have loyalty, and they will have interest, and they will have job satisfaction, and all these factors will support the organization to retain the employees. Another factor of importance is stronger bottom line. If people are empowered properly, the organization will have a stronger bottom line, higher productivity, more motivated people, better business, and enhanced customer experiences. So, these are also some of the factors of importance. Now, what are different techniques by using which people or employee in an organization can be empowered? The very first one is recognized hard effort from the workforce. Those who are hard working, recognize them. Second, communicate company goals. If you want to empower people, then what are organizational goals that should appropriately be communicated. Next, recognize to empower. Yes, after understanding previous two factors, that is recognize hard effort and communicate company goals, then recognize who should be empowered. And the next technique in that is promote problem solving. There should be a regular phenomena of solving problem of people working with the organization, and that will certainly help to empower people. Next, set up a flexible work environment. The work environment of organization should be flexible. There should be flexibility in that, and flexibility does not mean that we should compromise with the working of the organization. And next technique is show employees that their feedback matters. Whatever feedback is being given to the organization by the employee must feel that that will have meaning in the working and decision making of organization. And the next technique is provide opportunities for professional growth. So, it is not only taking work from the employees, there should be opportunity to the employee to grow and develop professionally. Make empowerment part of your organization's culture and vision. Yes, if you want to empower people, then it should be part and parcel of organizational. So, this is these are the techniques which will help the organization to empower people. And with this, if we again try to understand separately the power, then influence, then authority, and then empowerment. these all 4 different factors are virtual in nature, but without exercising the power, by using the authority, by influencing the behavior of people, it is not possible to take organizational work. And basically the phenomena of power, influence, authority and empowerment helps to accomplish the organizational goal, and this process is a major process, virtual major process, which helps to understand the organizational behavior. In other words, among different departments, major departments of organization, among major different teams of organization, among various social groups of an organization, and yes, of course, among individuals, how the power is being practiced and what capabilities individual teams, departments have to influence, and yes, how they have been empowered will have the impact on the working of the organization. So, these things are very important. So, if you want to attain the maximum productivity, effectiveness and efficiency in the organization, then from top to the bottom, already we have discussed that there could not be uniformity in empowering the people. The empowerment or delegation or sharing of power is as per need of the position, and position is related to the organizational structure. So, if we see the process of virtual working of power, influence, authority and empowerment in the organizational structure from top to the bottom, from left to the right and from diagonal to the diagonal, that creates a dynamism, and the dynamism is the dynamism of interests, and these dynamism of interests are the ultimate interest of organization, the interests of different teams and the interests of individual, and among all the interest of personal interests of all these as well as organizational interests of all these. So, it is a very complex phenomena, and if we see an organization from top, then yes, it is very complex and tedious and complicated to understand it. Majority of times, as a result of a use of power, as a result of influence of behavior, it seems that there is a state of confusion where the organization is going. Reason being, there are different teams working in the organization. All these teams are using the empowerment and influencing the behavior of others, and accordingly they are pushing the organization in next direction, and this whole gamut is known as organizational politics. So, organizational politics is process of use of power and social networking within a workplace. So, politics is use of power, and once we use the word power, it means it is by virtue of the right of authority, it is right given, and then how that right is being used to influence the behavior and actions of others. So, that is power, and this power is practiced in the social networking. Social networking means, in the beginning of this session I told you that organization is considered as a social entity, and because it is a social entity, so to run that there is need of networking. Networking means the need of creation of relationships, need of communication, and how people are interacting with each other, what kind of interpersonal relationships are there, that is networking. And power and social networking within a workplace to bring changes that helps organization and its employees to attain the goal. The organizational politics, usually we take politics as a negative phenomena. No, it is not negative phenomena, it is positive phenomena also. We can see politics happening even among families, we can see politics happening among organizations. Yes, a country can be run with the help of a constructive and positive political environment. Reason being, the politics helps to generate the environment which will push the organization to attain the goals. Another definition of organizational politics is the agenda and activities of organization or employees to seek, increase and practice power, So, politics is not only to attain the goal, or in other words, if we want to attain the goal by practicing the power, that is politics. And how it is done? It is done for attainment of agenda in the organization, and in the politics, those who are involved tries to seek, increase and practice the power, that is politics. So, this is all for this session. In the next session, we will continue about organizational politics, and I hope you might have enjoyed the session, and we will meet in the next session. Thank you for the participation. Thank you very much.